Okay, welcome to the Chemist Lab, everyone. I am Kendall Crawfords. My partners in crime, Messiah, Bright, and Veronica, couldn't be here today, but the show still goes on. Today we have Carolyn Alexander here today. She is a pharmacist at Baylor Hospital.
Yes.
Okay. She's going to talk to you guys about stoichiometry. Yes. Okay, so I don't want to jump right in, so I'm gonna kind of ask you some questions to like warm you up a little bit.
Okay.
Um, but first, I just want to get down to the basics. What is stoichiometry for those who don't know what that is? Let's
Okay.
explain it for
All right.
everyone.
First of all, thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for your interest in stoichiometry. Stoichiometry basically is the relationship between the relative quantity of substances that are taking part of a reaction and forming a compound. Typically, it's considered the ratio of a substance that actually has a reactant to create a formula.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the next question, like I said, I wanted to do a warm up. I don't want to just jump into asking you crazy questions. I want you to feel comfortable here at the Chemist Lab. So, question number one: what education and training do you need to be prepared for the career that you're in?
Okay, first of all, the pathway I took was that from high school, I went directly into junior college that I attended for 2 years. That basically completed 2 years of my lower graduate curriculum to get me into the pharmaceutical program in Alabama.
Hmm.
So after that, I completed 2 more years and tested to go into the pharmaceutical program. And at that point, it's basically a 4 year program. So basically, approximately 6.5 years to complete the pharmaceutical program at Alabama.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. So, in high school, can you elaborate on what you were interested in? Like, what were your hobbies? Like, so we can paint a picture on what led you down this career path.
Okay. In high school, I think my biggest hobby was music, band, and dancing. However, that was something that I got to do every day.
Hmm.
I wanted to establish a career in which I could use all of my skills to help other people,
Right.
other than the arts. So, my academic interests were science and math, basically. I love science and math, and I tried to focus on anything in which that was a combination. Um, as a young person, I wanted to major in I wanted to be a veterinarian in zoology.
Hmm.
And soon I learned there were several animals and species that I did not like. So at that point, I knew I loved other people, and I wanted to do something in which that I could apply science and academics and math every day, and still be fulfilled where I was being able to help other people. So that's why I chose pharmacology.
Okay, that's wonderful. Next question: how is stoichiometry used in your job? You're a pharmacist,
Hmm.
so I'm pretty sure y'all work with a lot of chemicals, a lot of medicines. So how do you
Right.
use the stoichiometry? How do you
Hmm.
use that specifically in your career?
Well, basically, stoichiometry is used to help determine the quantity of ingredients that we use to create or produce a drug. For
Okay.
instance, let's say if I were to be mixing a common antibiotic like vancomycin, which is used in multiple people for infections of different kinds.
Oh.
We basically have to know how much of the reactant that we mix with the other portions of the drug that are non-reactant,
Mhm.
and the mixtures of fluid that will be compatible, so that we can create the right dosage for either that patient and for that the volume that is needed.
Okay. Awesome. Um. Let's see. Let's get into this pharmacy thing. Okay. Why did you choose to become a pharmacist? Like, I know you said you wanted to put your math and your science
Mhm.
skills all together, but and you wanted to help people, but like other than that, why did you say, hey? Because it's a lot of math and science skills you can use
Mhm.
to become anything.
Mhm.
But why did you want to do? Why did you want to do? Why did you want to be a pharmacist? Why did you want to specialize in medicine?
Well, first of all, I am from a rural area in Mississippi, and my father had a lot of heritage in him that was Indian, and we used to practice a what people call um, holistic medicine, basically, in our family, in which we use either herbs or different types of foods, to basically and plants to basically treat different types of illnesses.
Hmm.
And that was what we would call our holistic medicine versus the Western medications. It fascinates me how we have been able to create and produce products that are similar to natural products that we can use to treat people for all different types of diseases. And I really did again want to focus on doing something to help people. Um, I did not realize in any other way in which the mixture of math and science was so prevalent in any type of chemistry, especially with medication production and administration. So I found that I wanted to stay kind of behind the scenes. I didn't really like working directly with people or patients or anything of that nature. So I decided, thought that pharmacology would be the best route in which
For
that
you.
I could take. Yes.
Awesome. Absolutely. Um. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you had to take a lot of classes to become a
Hmm.
pharmacist. You know a lot about this topic. So, do you ever hear the concept of mole ratio?
Yes. So basically, multiracial would basically describe the concept of the conversion factors and that are used for the reactants in comparison with one another. It's basically
Hmm.
a balance equation,
Right.
of the reaction that's basically occurring.
Okay. Um. So, in a stoichiometry problem, what will you say? Because there's plenty of steps, but before you do this problem, because we we have taken the time out to go to different classrooms and see how um, chemistry students
Mhm.
do their stoichiometry problems.
Mhm.
And I always see their first step is always something. So can you just tell me what do you prefer when you're doing the problem?
Mhm.
What do you think your first step should be?
So, in my opinion, the first step to solving any problem that you have is to write a balanced equation for the problem and the formula.
Right? And that's exactly what I saw the students doing. They balance their equation before they even get started, which is so helpful because
Mhm.
if you don't have a balanced equation, you can't figure out the mole
Yes,
ratio, of course.
correct.
Um, Chemists use stoichiometry metric calculations to predict the amount of reactants used in products formed in specific reactions. Do you
That's
think this
correct.
statement is true or false?
That would be true. That is
True.
correct.
Okay. So, being a pharmacist, what do you think is the most difficult thing about your job? I know it's a lot of emotional and physical stress, but what do you think is the just most difficult?
Um, we're very concentrated. We focus a lot on what we're doing because minor mistake could cause a very harmful adverse reaction.
Exactly.
So for me, it's just stressful knowing that myself, I have several people who working under me,
Hmm.
and as the primary pharmacist, I'm basically responsible for them in my lab. For me, that's the most stressful thing is to make sure that everyone who's working under me is up to par and making sure that there are no harmful mistakes that could occur that could cause danger to the patient or even the caregiver.
Absolutely. Okay. So I know that you you don't you're not always, you know, like working physically with
Mhm.
medicines. You're not always in the field. Sometimes you have to go to your desk,
Mhm.
you know, to um to check out the procedures of what you're gonna be doing.
Mhm.
So, um, how much of your days are spent behind a desk, and how much do you think are spent actually working in the field?
Okay, that's a great question. I would say that um, mostly 80% I'm in the field
Wow.
and paperwork, procedures, protocols, documentation,
Mhm.
and basically making sure that we're keeping correct records. If we have any type of research or other laboratory diagnostics that need to be completed, that also has to be done. So that would be approximately 20% of the time that I spend behind my
Wow. So
desk.
most of the times you're just like in there, like
Yes,
working. That's
yes,
amazing.
yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. So this is our last question for today, and I'm
Okay.
so glad you came. I know you have a lot to do, but I'm just so glad that you came for these students because this is you're really setting a example for what a beautiful scientist chemist is.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
So, last question,
Hmm.
and this is a story time on she question.
Okay.
What is the difference between an excess reactant and a limited reactant?
Okay. Basically, limited reactants are used completely during the process in which the reaction takes place. The quantity of the product that can form that causes the chemical equation is completely used up in a
Hmm.
limited reaction.
Okay.
The excess reaction um, is the substance that is not used up during the chemical reaction.
Right, because there are two
Hmm.
reactants in
That's
a chemical
correct.
equation. So one reactant will be the reactant that's not used up, and
Hmm.
that will be the
The
excess.
excess, yes,
But the
correct.
one that is used up, that's going to be the limit.
That is
Right.
correct.
Beautiful. I just
Correct.
want to make sure I got that down. Okay, so this is the end of
Okay.
the interview. I just want to thank you for coming and talking with us. Our students really loved you today. As you see, we have
Thank
tweets
you.
just
Thank
blowing up,
you. Hi,
hashtag,
everyone.
and I'm just so glad and I'm so proud that you came today. I know my boss, Mr. McKinney, will be so um,
Well, it was a
honored to have
pleasure.
you
I
here.
wouldn't mind coming back at any time if
Come
you'd
back
like.
anytime to talk to
Okay.
our students. We love visitors.
Thank you
Okay,
very
so
much.
this is the Chemist Lab. Thank you for tuning in and viewing us today. I want you to give another thank you to Miss Caroline Alexander.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you. Signing out. This is Kendall. Bye bye.